Let's get right into it. Number 1. The blind spot illusion. Your eyes are lying to you. Not always, not in the dramatic sci-fi way, but in the quiet, everyday sense. Your brain edits reality, and you almost never notice. This episode is about the optical illusions you see constantly without realizing it. They're not on posters or in museums. They're in your mirror, your rear view, your bedroom window. Before we dive deeper, subscribe if you love seeing the world differently and comment below where you're watching from. Let's see how far this illusion travels. Take a second and look around you. What you're seeing, the colors, the shapes, the movement, feels real, solid, obvious. But it's not. Your brain isn't showing you reality, it's showing you its best guess. And sometimes that guess is wrong. Let's start with one of the creepiest truths about your eyes. You have a blind spot right now while you're watching this. There's a hole in your vision, a spot where your optic nerve connects to your retina. No rods, no cones, no image, just nothing. So why don't you see a black dot floating around? Because your brain fills it in. Not with accuracy, with assumptions. Your brain grabs the colors and shapes around the blind spot, patches it up, and shows you a version of reality that looks seamless, even though part of it doesn't exist. You're seeing something that isn't there, and not in a trippy hallucination kind of way. In a quiet, everyday kind of way. Test it? There are online blind spot experiments that prove this. But even without those, just know, part of what you're seeing right now is invention. And it gets weirder. Number 2, the color illusion. You remember the dress, right? Blue and black, white and gold. Half the internet was ready to start a civil war over it. But here's what really happened. That infamous photo wasn't just a bad lighting moment. It was a psychological stress test for your brain's color perception system. Because color isn't real, not in the way we think. Your brain doesn't see color directly, it interprets it based on light, shadows, context and memory. And in that photo, all of those things were ambiguous. The lighting was neutral and confusing. The background lacked clear clues. Your brain had to guess, am I seeing this dress in shadow or in light? If your brain assumed shadow, it filtered out the blue tones and left you with white and gold. If it assumed bright light, it filtered the gold tones, leaving you with blue and black. Same image, two completely different experiences, and both people will swear they're right. But it's not about who's wrong, it's about how color doesn't live out there in the world. It lives in your brain. You think you're seeing what's there, you're actually seeing what your brain expects to be there. This isn't a glitch, this is how we survive. The human brain is designed to make fast visual assumptions, to help us navigate, identify and react instantly. But sometimes that speed means reality gets edited on the fly. So the next time someone says trust your eyes, maybe don't. Number 3, why the moon looks huge. You've probably seen it, the moon rising low on the horizon, looking massive and surreal. But here's the kicker, it's not actually bigger. The moon doesn't swell in size, it's the same diameter whether it's high above you or scraping the edge of the skyline. What changes is your brain. This is called the moon illusion, and it's one of many depth perception tricks your visual system plays. When the moon's near the horizon, your brain has context, trees, buildings, mountains, things that give it a sense of scale. Your brain compares the moon to these objects and miscalculates it as bigger than it really is. But when the moon is overhead, there's nothing around it, just sky, no reference points. Your brain goes, meh, normal size. Same object, different interpretation. This illusion isn't just limited to the moon. Ever notice how two cars the same size can look wildly different depending on whether they're near tall buildings or out in the open? Or how a hallway can make a person look stretched or tiny based on the camera angle? That's your brain doing visual math without a ruler. It estimates, it compares, it makes judgment calls in milliseconds. But it doesn't always get it right. Because you're not seeing objects, you're seeing relationships between size, depth, distance and context. The real world is three-dimensional, but your eyes are just two lenses giving your brain flat 2D input, so your mind constructs depth. And sometimes it constructs it wrong. But hey, if the trade-off is getting to see a giant mystical moon now and then, maybe that's not such a bad glitch. Number 4, moving when nothing moves. Ever catch something in your peripheral vision and whip around only to see nothing? Or swear someone moved in a mirror, but no one's there? Your eyes didn't lie, they just misread the scene. Our brains are obsessed with motion. From an evolutionary standpoint, noticing movement meant spotting a predator or catching dinner. So your visual system is hyper-tuned to pick up anything that shifts. even if it's just a reflection, a shadow, or your own movement echoed back. Mirrors are especially tricky. They flip light, reverse depth, and create virtual duplicates of real objects. And your brain treats those reflections as part of the room. So when something moves in the mirror, say you, your brain sometimes flags it as external movement. That's why mirrors can startle you, even when you're alone. Windows do their own magic. Depending on the angle and lighting, they combine reflection and transparency. Your brain tries to separate what's behind the glass from what's reflected on it, but when the lighting's weird, it struggles. You might see someone walking through your living room, only to realize it was a reflection of someone behind you. Even more bizarre, stationary objects seen through vibrating windows or moving vehicles can appear to shimmer or drift. Your eye muscles, head tilt, and light angle all conspire to make motion where none exists. It's not just visual noise, it's a glimpse into how much your brain's doing to stabilize your view of the world. You think the world looks steady? That's your brain working overtime to edit out the chaos, and sometimes slipping a little weirdness in by mistake. Your reality is always just slightly post-processed. Number 5. The Invisible Tremble. Look at something across the room. Now hold your gaze perfectly still. You think your eyes aren't moving, but they are. Even when you try to freeze your stare, your eyes are constantly vibrating, twitching, and jittering around in tiny, rapid movements. These are called microsaccades, and they happen whether you want them to or not. If your eyes ever did stop moving completely, you'd go blind. Here's why. The cells in your retina adapt fast. If the image doesn't shift, they stop responding. Everything fades to gray. So your brain keeps your eyes in constant motion, not to blur your vision, but to keep it alive. But here's the real trick. You don't see the motion. Your brain smooths it out. It stabilizes your view like a camera on a gimbal. You're looking through a live feed with a silent, built-in editor, erasing every bump and twitch. It's a lie your brain tells so you can see clearly. This is why something weird happens when you press gently on the side of your eyeball. Suddenly, the world wobbles. You're overriding the brain stabilizer, breaking the illusion. You're also experiencing it every time you read. Your eyes hop in sharp little jumps from word to word, but your mind tells you the sentence flows smoothly. This illusion of stillness is so powerful that scientists have to build special machines just to measure what your eyes are really doing. Your perception of a stable, crisp world, that's your brain filling in the blanks. It's not showing you what your eyes see, it's showing you what it thinks you need to see. And in doing so, it edits reality invisibly, constantly, without asking permission. That's the real optical illusion, believing you're seeing the world as it is. Because really, you're just seeing what your brain lets through. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. We'll see you in the next one.